This came from the range today, so I thought I'd do a video. This is the P365 X-Macro. I've had this gun for a little over 2 years. Shot a lot of shots through it. Haven't had a malfunction yet. For the last month, I've been going to the range every weekend or so, either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. And during that time, I just been zeroing in my iron sight skills and my red dot skills, practicing grip and finger pull, trigger pull control. And pretty much with this gun, at 5 to 10 meters, I'm making, what is it, 2-inch, 1-inch groups, 3-inch groups if I'm like really practicing. You know what I'm saying? Taking that 1 to 2 seconds every shot. If I'm just going like a little less than a second between shots, yeah, the groups are going to expand a little bit, but I try to practice both ways, fast and slow shooting. I haven't really done anything to this gun really except put on the red dot, change the sights to these higher ones, the suppressor height sights, and let me tell you why. Nothing on this gun has failed me yet except for this real red dot. The red dot didn't fail because of itself. I would say I failed the red dot. The last time I changed the battery, I didn't put any Loctite on this screw, and when I was shooting one weekend, the screw worked itself out and the tray just like was edging out. It didn't fly out, luckily. It just, I saw it just coming out slowly, so I just MacGyvered some other screw into it and continued my practice for that day. But when that happened, I said, all right, this is a perfect chance to do iron sight shooting, which I rarely do with this gun because of the red dot. And I noticed that, well, I've always noticed it, that the stock iron sights are just a little bit too low, even though this red dot has this little cut out so you can co-witness, but it wasn't the best co-witness. You understand what I'm saying? So that night went on eBay and I found these iron sights on eBay for about $25. The ones that are specifically made for this model gun, the P365 X-Macro, they were like $99 for 2 chunks of steel. I wasn't really trying to pay that. These ones right here, they were specifically labeled for the 320, but I looked around on the internet and I seen that some people were able to put the 320, interchange them from the 320 to the 365. They have the same footprint front and back. So I got one of them cheap sight pushers off eBay, and first time just put them on, eyed it out, didn't really do any measuring. Went to the range the next weekend and they were dead on, 5 to 10 meters dead on with great handwork. Yeah, so what I'll say about things that you should practice with this gun specifically is trigger control, because I've shot some really good triggers. Last week this guy brought this Walter, one of the new Walters. The trigger on that gun was incredible. This one is a good trigger, but that trigger was just straight boom, like there was none of this. It was just like the Glock one had that little trigger safety thing. As soon as you get that down, boom, gone. This one, it was has a way wider, higher, like it's about ½ an inch, and then boom, ½ an inch, then boom. That one was like bang. You feel me? That was a great trigger. I do love this trigger. I've worked with a lot and I can do really good at it. I mostly train from 5 meters to 10 meters. Rarely I'll go 15 meters. If you're just your everyday average shooter, I would say this, hit those first, because if you're making 2-inch to 3-inch groups at 5 and 10 meters, you go to 15, you might shoot those same groups. I mean, once you get used to shooting from that at that distance. But yeah, just shoot 10 to 5 meters with these pistols. Kind of sweaty out here today. So anyway, yeah, I put on this light not too long ago too. You feel me? I go fishing, so the light, you need light when it's dark, for real. The 507K, this is the 2X, but low-key when I'm shooting, I'm more focused on the target, so I don't really like make use of the 2X, you feel me, that 2X variable, you feel me. I just try and focus straight up on the target, present. When I see that dot on the target, boom, 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 1 2 3, boom, 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 you feel me. I'm not really paying attention to the glass on the optic. I'm focusing past it. My focus is on the target completely. Back plates. What I liked about this gun when I first got it, you can change out the back plates. What I did, I 3D printed a extra large back strap for it, and I had that on pretty much since I had the gun. I recently changed it to this smaller one because I felt like with that bigger back plate, my grip matured to where I don't need that back plate. It was real grippy, real tight. I liked it. I can practically shoot the same with it, but now I realize since I've gotten better and my grip has gotten more official, that I can use this back plate or any back plate on the market. But really, I've only had the medium on it and that extra large one. The only complaint I see from people with this gun is that it rusts, and I want to call bullshit on those people. The only part of the gun that I ever seen rusted was the stock sights, which you can change that out. And yeah, you're paying, when you buying this gun costs about, well, if you're buying it at a pawn shop, you can go anywhere. These pawn shops be waxing, so you might just be paying the regular price at that point. Yeah, $600 to $700 for this shit, and I think it's like almost $800 from SIG. You're paying for a product that you don't want to see that shit. You feel me? And I understand that, but me, I've always been like I want to see how the gun, I want to see that patina, you know what I'm saying? Because these things are lifelong products, you feel me? Especially these slides, you know what I'm saying? I don't really see people changing out slides unless they do it for a specific reason. Even like either they want to get a slide with an optic cut, serrations on the front and back, or ported. That's the only one, like cosmetic shit, not like, oh, the slide is damaged. I love to see like a slide that's has scratches on it, where that's a gun that's been used, it's being used. And I carry this gun every day, you know what I'm saying, at work, when I go out with the shorties, I have it on me, you feel me? Little scratches here, but I have not seen any rust. I keep, like, every time I clean it, I get some oil and I just rub it into the slide, just keep that thing, you know, fresh, clean wise. I just came and it's hot as hell out here. I don't know how hot it is. If you look at my face right now, I'm sweating balls. But even though if I hit the serrations on the front, very easy to rack the slide that way. Very easy to rack the slide that way. And now I'm saying, if you want to, you can always use the red dot. But really, I rarely do that because I don't like seeing them fingerprints. I'm not trying to point the gun, but see that. I don't like to see fingerprints on my shit like that. But if you got it, use it, you feel me? Magazines for this gun, I got 2 of them. I'm not really a dude that carries extra magazines when I like leave the house in the morning for work. I like one. The reason why I switched over to this gun from my Smith & Wesson Shield is the capacity and the concealability. This whole 17+1, that's 18 in the head. And hey yo, I've never had a problem. Well, never had a problem if you're using the gun right. Well, with any gun, if you have this loaded, you already have one in the head. If you half-ass the this, if you have acid, sometimes this might not seat well in it, and you'll turn the gun this way and this will fall out as a consequence. That's why you're not supposed to baby these guns. These guns are supposed to be ran hard. You know what I'm saying? When you rack the slide, you don't do half racks, you do full racks, pull it back. If it's empty, let that shit go. You feel me? Don't baby the gun. That's the worst thing you can do with these things. Worst thing. I was at, I think, this is when I was first started. I was at Shoot Straight. Never go to Shoot Straight. Ass. I seen a dude rack this shit, and I guess he did it in such a way where his hand was not my Pacific gun, but he racked this gun, I guess, and I think his grip was more like this on it. He racked it, some shit happened. He either pulled his hand forward or thing back, and it looked like the front sight came and gouged out his hand a little bit, started bleeding everywhere. And then yeah, I've actually gotten slide bite, not on this gun, on my Smith, when I first, like one of the first times I went shooting with my Smith & Wesson, that 9 shield. I was trying to shoot left-handed, so I was like this, but I don't know, my grip, probably I was holding the gun weird like this or some shit like this. Yo, slide bite like a motherfucker. I was pissed off. I was tight. It was like somewhere around here on my thumb. But you know, we're grown now. We know better. That's how you're supposed to be holding that thing. That's how you're supposed to be holding that thing. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Your hand should never be all the way like if you're doing this, if you're doing some weird shit like this, stop. You need help. Grip texture. When I first got this gun, I didn't think this was enough grip for it. You feel me? That's why I put on that back strap. It was blocky, like it had blocks. It was geometric like that. It was all blocky, so you had real bite in the back of the hand. And these were just stock. I never changed, never tried to alter that. But now since I've, you know what I'm saying, developed my grip, even though my hands are sweaty right now because of this heat, I can grip this gun properly, you know what I'm saying, have a firm grip on it, and shoot how I'm supposed to shoot with it. Always remember, guys, it's never the gun, it's always you. But now if you're going to implement a red dot, you always want to make sure your red dot is sighted. If you go to the range, they'll like the range officers will help you sight it in. But what I've noticed is, even if you go home and you purchase one of those red dots that go down the shaft and you see the red dot on the wall, all you got to do is make the red dot in your light kiss and that kiss. Even with those, you want to, that's to get like a real good starter point for your red dot. When you're at the range, you want to make fine adjustments, because it's all about you and how you shoot. You can shoot perfect, but that bullet might come out a little higher or lower depending on. So all I say is, yeah, you can let somebody else get it real close for you, but then for you, if you're doing everything right with your finger pull and your grip, you're gonna have to make just small adjustments, you know what I'm saying, to make it right for you, and then you're off to the races. But my first impression of the gun was great, and I've had this gun for a long time now, and it's even better. I would trust this with my life, and I do trust it with my life. I carry it every day. When I say every day, every day. And yo, this is the 3P65 X-Macro. Too many goddamn names in this shit. I just call it the X-Macro. And this is your little review from your average shooter. I'm going to be throwing up other videos about other guns I have, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if y'all can see it, but out in this little pond where I'm sitting, there's a little alligator peeking out. Cool shit. And I'm going to start making, taking videos of when I shoot, taking more pictures of my targets so I can show you guys like the performance, you know what I'm saying, what my groups look like at different distances and different speeds of shooting, and shit like that. You know, we cool around here. We do a lot of fun shit. training wise, get these things, you know what I'm saying? Because what I tell, if I'm helping somebody out at the range and they have a red dot, or they have because I implement 2 different types of red dots: red dot sights and red dot lasers for your guns. Dry firing it before you start shooting for the day, because what I always tell people, your dot and its movement when you pull that trigger can tell you a lot about your finger pull. What I like to do, I point my gun at the